Okay, so to get started on the makeup, I'm going to do my foundation after, so sorry if it's kind of scary looking right now, but I already have my brows done. Obviously, that's always the first thing I do, and then I do have a bit of Too Faced Shadow Insurance just applied to my lid to prevent any creasing and just help the eyeshadow stick better. Now I'm going to take the NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade Gold number 612, and I'm just going to apply this to the center of my lid. Now I do have the fan on, so sorry if that bothers any of you. Once you have the Jumbo Place blended out on your lid, I'm going to go into my 120 palette first edition, and I'm going to take this gold color right here onto a flat shader brush and just apply this right on top. Now this is a brighter yellow. If you wanted, you probably could have used like a yellow base. I just did the gold so that there's a bit of shimmer on it. For the inner and outer corners, I'm going to be taking this pinky purple color, and I'm just going to use the same brush. I just flipped it over, taking a bit of that product and just applying this to the inner and outer thirds of my eye. I want to add a bit of orange to this look, so I'm going to add a bit like to the outer corner and into the crease. I'm going to take this peachy color right here. On camera, it's showing up a little bit darker than it is in real life. In real life, it's just like a medium peachy orange color. And I'm taking this onto a C411 pointed blender by Crown. And I'm going to start just applying this into my crease, and you can kind of create like a shape with your eyeshadow, like a little kind of like a cat eye or point, but nothing too dramatic. You still want it to be kind of soft. I'm taking this red color right down here and I'm mixing it in with a bit of that first like magenta color that we applied on our lid, and I'm just going to apply these to this outer V. The reason I'm reapplying these as well as adding that red is just to add more dimension and depth, but also just to bring back that red tone because the orange can kind of take over. I'm taking this color right here from the same 120 palette, and I'm using this as my brow bone highlight, and I'm just applying it underneath my brow and blending down into that orange color. Make sure you also buff it down here into the inner crease so that you do get a nice uniform blend, and it just helps brighten up the inner corner. And then what I like to do is I like to go back and forth between my crease brush and my highlight brush, and this will just help diffuse the colors and make them look more blended. So I went ahead and cleaned up the fallout underneath my eyes and just applied my foundation as normal. And then I did apply a thin line, or just like a moderately thin line of gel liner to my upper lash line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller brush. When I apply my upper lash line liner, I use a angled brush. But for the inner corners, I want to add a little like point. So I'm taking that same gel liner. Mine's kind of drying out. If you have a creamier one or a liquid liner, I think this would work better. But the way that I'm going to do this is I'm just going to relax my eye and just extend the gel liner and then connect it right on back in to the lower lash line, just like this, just to give me more of like a Arabic or cat eye kind of look, and just connect it into that, and then you can just fill in your waterline. But I'm gonna do the other side first before I start doing that. Again, just kind of drag it down just like this. I don't want to extend it too far. You can extend this as far out as you want. And then again, drag it right back. Sorry if you guys can't see, it's just hard for me to get this in frame. For the lower lower lash line, as you can see, I just added a bit of like a rusty red color. I'm going to be taking this one from the 120 palette just because I want to add that like reddish orangey tone, but I don't want it to be super bright as it is on the top. I want it to be a little bit deeper and have just a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to take the brush I used for my highlight, I just wiped it off, and I'm going to take a bit of water and just spray down my brush just a few times to get it damp. Dip my brush into that product and then make sure you tap it off really well, because this is a red eyeshadow, so it can irritate your eyes a bit if you have sensitive eyes, so you don't want to risk it getting like into your eyes or irritating you. So just tap it off really, really well, and then just apply this to your lower lash line right up against that black liner. And then lastly, for the eyeshadow, I'm going to take a bit of matte black shadow and I'm just going to run this as close to that liner that I have placed as possible and just smoke it out, just to add a bit more drama and a bit more depth. So that's pretty much it for this look. I went ahead and finished up my cheeks. I didn't apply too much product to my cheeks today just because the eyes are so dramatic, so I wanted to keep it pretty simple. For my cheeks, I actually used two different blushes. I used the CoverGirl Clean Glow blush in the shade 100 Roses, and then I used the shade 120 in the shade Spices. Now this says it's a bronzer, but it does come out more of a blush, so I just layered these on top of my cheeks. Where I would apply a blush, I didn't use this like as a bronzer or anything, because if you look at it in the pan, it is like a peachy tone. It's not like an actual bronze tone, so I just layered this right on top just to give me more of a defined cheek and just allow me to have more definition in my face because the eyes are so dramatic. So that's pretty much it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, I will have a link to all of my social networks in the bottom bar below, along with my email, so you guys can send me inspirational pictures, comments, questions, anything like that. Don't forget also to thumbs up this video if you like it. It just shows me support, and it also lets me know what kind of videos that you guys are interested in seeing. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye everybody!